Hi, this is Sergio Angulo, chemistry teacher here at your high school. I'm in the classroom right now, trying to give you an idea of what our classroom looks like. Here it is. As you can see, we got the student desks behind us. Um, there are two desks put together because only one student sits every two desks. You'll notice that the desk on your left is it is butted up right next to the one to your right, so that you can't get in there. So one student sits at those two desks, and then those things on top of the desks are desk buddies. They're little dividers, so we can go ahead and divide the students just a little bit. And as you can see, we're even using the lab stations to seat students at, so we can go ahead and keep as much personal space as possible within the classroom. So here's our classroom. I wanted to show you that. Now, next, I'd like to go ahead and start talking a little bit about the class syllabus, because in the class syllabus, we'll see things such as grading policy, needed class supplies, and what class topics are going to be covered in this class. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. This is the class syllabus where I have grading policy, required class supplies, not much, in electronics policy, and the topics that we're going to cover for chemistry. Let's talk about grading policy real quick. Oh, first off, actually, let me show you where you can get this in case you want to look at it in more detail. If you go onto the class page, your student's Schoology page, it's right here. You can go to where it says, you can scroll down to where it says class info. And if you go ahead and click on the yellow folder, class info, it'll open the folder, or you can even click on the little caret here, and it'll give you chemistry syllabus 2122 as an option. You can go ahead and open it. When you open it, you get this document here. So the grading is based, the overall grade is based on three subgrades. The first subgrade is content knowledge, where we put tests, quizzes, presentations. That's 60% of their grades. This is a college prep class, so we are preparing them for college. And one of the things they have to get used to is the fact that a lot of their grade is going to be based on how much they know and how much they can show that they know about the material. I tell them that in most college classes, many college classes, your grade is 100% what's on your midterms and your finals. Okay? No credit for homework or anything like that. So for this class, it's a weighted average. Whatever their test average is, that becomes 60% of their grade. There's a second category for assignments. Those are usually homework and classwork assignments. Those go into a second category. That's 20% right there. And the third category is lab and presentations. That's another 20%. Now, this has been my traditional grading scale. I'm seeing that there might need to be changes because of our current situation. It's nice to be back in class, and we are healing, getting better, I guess, and still being careful. And so not exactly sure exactly what's going to be in the lab component. Lab is one of my favorite things to do in class, but now we're not having wet labs where people will be using the same glassware from one period to the next. So there'll be a lot of students touching the same glassware. I'm not exactly sure what all the lab activities are going to be at this point in time. So I don't know how many assignments are going to be in this category. So what I'm thinking of doing, and this is just from looking at things and seeing how we need to adapt. I'm thinking of putting these together. So both homework assignments and labs will go into one category that is 40% of the overall grade. Okay, so I'm mulling it over. I'm leaning toward going over there, and I've talked to the students about it. That might change my policy a little bit. I like my policy the way I've had it for many, many years, but I'm just seeing the need that we might have to do that now, because I don't want there to be only 2 or 3 assignments in the lab category, and that'd be 20% of your grade, and then there'd be 50 homework assignments for the semester, and that'd be an equal amount of your grade. The overall grade is the grade percentages that equate certain grades are as usual. 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 90 is a B, 70 to 80% is a C, 60 to 70% a D, and less than 60 is an F. One of the class requirements is a scientific calculator. So please make sure that your student has a scientific calculator. There is a scientific calculator on cell phones, but I do not allow cell phones on tests, and they're going to need the scientific calculator on tests. So please make sure they get them. And I've told them that some of the scientific calculators, most are fine, but some are really complicated to use. So if they buy a scientific calculator, they can keep the receipt and check with me to see if that scientific calculator will work. They'll all work, but some of them are really complicated to use. So they can check with me to see if the one that they bought is useful. One last thing I want to touch on is how you can view your students' grades in Schoology. You may or may not know that Schoology is our new LMS or learning management system. It's kind of how we go ahead and give our students assignments, how we give our students their grades. And, parent access is a little bit tricky with Schoology. I'm not even sure I understand at this point in time. There's all these uh, parent access codes you have to get, and I don't even know who you get it from. I think the easiest way of doing it is having your student go ahead and log in themselves. They can all log in because if they were part of the online part of the class, this is where they got the link right here at the top. So they can log in. The first page you see is the materials page, and on the materials page you will find the assignments. So this was Wednesdays, Tuesdays, and Mondays. I'll put this week's assignments on the main page. Then all the previous week's assignments, I will go ahead and put in folders and then eventually archive them down here. So they can find them there. I've got homework keys down here. The book that we're using is right here in PDF files. Students can go ahead and click on these and download the book, not just open the chapter, but download the chapter or download the book chapter by chapter onto their Chromebook. They're only 2 to 4 megabytes, as you can see here. So very small for the Chromebooks can handle way more than that. So they don't have to be connected to have the book available to them. So this is the materials page. If you wanted to look at their grades, the third option down here, you click on this, and what you get is their grades. And this is a view of everything exploded out. In other words, here is the semester grade at the top. And then the assignments grade are right here. This is the assignments average. And these are the individual assignments and the scores they got on those individual assignments. Here's the lab portion, which we don't have any assignments in right now. And here's the test portion. Here's the test average and the individual. Right now, we've only had one quiz, so individual quiz. So once again, the overall grade is right here. Okay. So don't let them tell you that they can't log in. They've all logged in, and they need to log in. Nobody's told me that they can't access the homework because it's on Schoology. So if you want to know their homework, if you want to know their grades, you ask them to log in, and you can go to the materials page for their homework or the grades tab for their grades. And the overall grades right here, and the subgrades are below. You can even go ahead and collapse this so you can just see the category grades, or you can go to individual ones right there. So I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for watching.